Hello, once again, Monster Hobbies Model Car Mechanics. How are you doing today? Well, this one live stream is a little bit quick today, a little bit impromptu. I think I missed one last week, but I'm not exactly sure. Looks like the top of my head's cut off here. Been a while since I did these. Hang on, here we go. Okay, let's turn the light thing. Wow. Hello, everybody. So glad you could join us. Had to just set that up a little bit. Well, anyway, okay. So today I thought I would share a little bit of interesting news. I had to take a part-time job in order to keep the online store going. See, I'm new to online retail, so it's been so up and down, off and on. It's hard to really judge it. So I, of course, still have expenses to pay for, so I needed to go out and get something. So I got a little job at the bowling alley as part-time, so that's always fun. 5-pin bowling. But apart from all of that, I guess I should introduce myself again. My name's Trevor Selescu, owner of Monster Hobbies. We're now online, so this address doesn't apply anymore. So you can find us at www.monster-hobbies.ca. We're out there in Cyberland. We just sent out the newsletter, so there's a special 10% off discount for anyone that's subscribed to the newsletter. Hopefully you can do that. Our website is priced in Canadian dollars. We offer free shipping across Canada for orders that are over $75. If you want us to send you a package down to the States, of course, we'll have to contact you for shipping details, but it can be done. We can ship all the way around the world. We accept PayPal and credit cards on our secure pay system. So that means that if you enter in any of your credit card information after the transaction, it is automatically deleted. If you use the coupon code YouTube at the checkout, you save 10% off your next purchase. And here you can find us at www.monster-hobbies.ca. And if you click over here, you can join our newsletter. Wow. Yeah, so the bowling alley job that I got, I just started it last week. It's kind of like what I was doing at the hobby shop with the point of sale computer and everything, only they have a touch screen. And then everything's on the touch screen. And then if you have to fix the bowling pins or whatever, it's all over there. It's interesting. A lot to learn, but really they're not doing much. So anyway, on to our group build. So I don't know how many people are entering in this group build of mine. It's custom cars, hot rods, and all kinds of cool things. A customer of mine a long time ago gave me spare parts and these instruction sheets for the original 57 T-Bird. Oh, hi, Michael. How are you doing? Yeah, this was in a big box full of things. So I, of course, sorted out all the parts, and I think I can build something like this. Unfortunately, none of the stylized parts are in there, so I can't put on that really cool Batmobile nose or the back end. Wow. I wish I could. On the back, of course, we got some great ideas from George Barris from back in the day. Again, really cool stuff. There's the Barris crest right there behind the thing. And they're using a 36 Ford convertible top on this, which is nice. And then, of course, drag parts from, I think it was the Gasser kit. Let's see. Oh, the dragster kit and the 32 Ford Roadster. And then these headlights are from the 36. They glued on backwards for aerodynamic. Again, really cool stuff from back in the day. And it's interesting that in the, I think these were from 1993, the instructions. They really don't have a lot of the custom features anymore of the old kit. They still have the telephone in there. But as far as all those styling parts, they disappeared. Really, the only thing left out of that is this fastback roof. So again, I think we kind of got cheated on that. But at any rate, so I built one of these stock a long time ago, and that's what I thought I would bring here. So this is the stock 57 T-Bird. This, of course, has the original roof. I painted this with a trim-clad green, and the rear window fell out. Let's just get rid of this top here. That inside is a lacquer seafoam green with a flat green carpet. I custom made that green. It's a bit of flat white testers with a drop or two of OD olive green. So there we go with the stock hubcaps. Painted the Firestone white walls inside there. I don't know if these wheels or tires say Firestone on them anymore. It's been a lot of weird eliminations of names. Now, I got that engine. I noticed there's a hole here, and that's where the distributor goes. And I found one somewhere else. So hopefully I can scrape that little contact point in and use the tweezers and drop it in from the top. So let's see. Michael says something here. It is surprising to me that they cut out those custom parts. Yeah, surprising isn't the word. Disappointing is the word. The inner door panels, I used some bare metal foil in there. Thanks, Michael. The only thing with this is I can see scratches in the roof and that sort of thing from, underneath when I sanded this thing a long time ago. I painted over the top, but the scratches are all, you can't see them here, but when you really look at it and catch light right, it's there. Oh, so what I was thinking of, now I'm going to make a YouTube video of my progression on these models, but in this live stream, since I haven't done one in a while, just want to say hi to everybody and see if anybody is actually going to enter my group build. So far, I have Mike's Garage, and he just showed me one model, and that was it. But I don't think he started on it. I don't want to build this thing and be the only guy in my group build. But I understand there's like 20 of them going on right now. There's a 1/32nd scale group build, and there's the build 1940 Ford group build. I think that's still going on. I'm not sure. But anyway, so what I thought I'd do today is show some of these parts and see if I can put them on this 57 T-Bird just to get a little bit of an idea. There was something that I wanted to do, which I'll show in a little bit later on, but I don't think I can do it. Oh, so one thing we've got, there's the original Thunderbird hood, and it's got that little bubble scoop on there, I guess. But they also give you this one in the old kit, and it doesn't have the scoop. So if we put that onto our little one here, you can see it smooths out that hood line quite a bit in contrast. And one thing I'm thinking of doing is, it's been really hard to find any customizing tips on these cars. I don't think the T-Bird was really done a lot. The 58s seem to be done a bit more than the 57s for whatever reason. But I can't find a reference. I found one video, which I've got in one of these group build videos, where it's like a really totally tricked out 57 T-Bird from like 1962. So it's got like the canted headlights and a little round grill in there, and the trim is removed and the door handles are gone on it. They're all filled in. Yeah, comes with the Continental kit. But yeah, so it's really hard to find pictures of these, even from like back in the George Barris days. Mostly you'll see like a picture where it's just from their back in the magazine. You don't see what they did to the front or anything else. Just it's like, come on, you guys. They have different tail lamps in there, something sort of like the Edsel station wagon ones with the V come out in the sides. Or there's like 4 bullets stuck in the center of it, and but that's about it. Maybe there's some pinstriping, but again, you are only seeing like this much. And I've looked through like on the web, I've looked through the old car model or car magazines from the 60s. I've got a little box of those, late 50s, early 60s. I've looked through all my like modern deluxe car magazines and all these other things. I can't find any 57 T-Birds that have been customized to get an idea of anything. So this will all have to be just more or less out of my head. But one thing I do know about in the 50s, they had this sort of customizing thing they called dechroming. So they would remove the Thunderbird script. They'd get rid of the logo off the hood and on the trunk. I'd probably get rid of these little vents in here and get rid of the door handle. I'm not sure if they would get rid of these because I think that's the pins for the top, of course. Yeah, to lock in. But yeah, they would dechrome it. So the only chrome really on them would be like the bumpers and the grill, and then anything that they decided to chrome. But for the majority, it would be dechromed. So that's sort of what the hood is like, almost dechromed. One thing I noticed is there's sink marks right here and here beside the T-Bird logo. So I will correct those. Here's the kit I'm going to be working on, of course. Oh, there's a little discrepancy error that I think might be confusing everybody on my build. One thing I said, hey, Harry's in. Hello. One thing I said with the group build is that you need a new model kit, so we're all starting on the same page. By new, I didn't mean like new, go out and buy it at Walmart today. I meant new as in it hadn't been touched yet. So if that's a clarification at all. So if you have something about like 16 years ago that's still shrink wrapped, you can use that, for example. So I may have, confused people there. I didn't mean to. Just new in my head was never touched, not bought it yesterday. So just so you know. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe dechrome this, take off the door handle here and fill it in and then reshape it. So all of this I'll do in a video. Do this all in the video later on. Get rid of the T-Bird logo off the trunk lid and the hood and the Thunderbird script. And I don't know how complicated that'd be, but I think I'll try to dig out these little vents here, remove them just for my custom. Yeah, so should be interesting. Oh, but one thing I was looking at here. So now getting into the instructions, there is a lot of things you can do to this T-Bird. Okay, so yeah. So here we've got these nice, oh, pardon me. They are wheel covers. Not wheel covers. What? I forget. But they cover the wheels anyway. They are fender skirts, big long fender skirts. So these fender skirts go up along here, of course, and then we've got these little exhaust and a flare for the front for the exhaust to come out of. And then there's this custom rolled pan front end with the Nerf bumpers. But here's what I'm looking at. Out in the back, they have these nacelles that add in like extra pontoon bumps or whatever you want to call them. Now, unfortunately, I want to use these little bullet ends, but I don't have any. Although I could pirate them out of the 50 Ford custom kit. But I don't know if I've got 4 because you really want 4 of these bullets sticking out the back. And there's a little grill in the back and a rolled pan. And the grill in the back was another customizing thing they were doing right around 1961 or 2 when this kit came out. Now, the issue that I have with the nacelles is that I also have one of these roofs, the fastback. And I think, now let me find it. Now hang on a minute. Okay. Oh, I was going to bring up the chrome engine block. I left it down in the basement. Oh, well, that's okay. Wait. Yeah, too bad. I was going to cut this off, but I want to do that in the video. But yet it's going to foul up how this sits. So here's what we've got if we use that custom top. Wait, let's turn it this way. Okay. Sounds like somebody's de-icing the sidewalk out there. So this is what it looks like with that custom top on there. Now the only sort of downside is this, I mean, Hey, OG, how's it going? How's it going, eh? See, if you look at the picture, you see how the top is there, and then you got that a bit of a trunk on there with the extended fenders or rear bumper. Pardon me, that whole thing, right? Here, it's so truncated close to that edge, it just basically falls off. But what those extra little pontoon or nacelles on there can round off the rear end and get rid of the tail fins. That would look good with the custom top. I don't know. I'm a fin guy. I like my fins. Um, but anyway, those nacelles are going to interrupt right. This roof will be sitting on the top of them and not down into it. And I don't think I really want to try to kind of grind the top to have a thing to accept the nacelles into, because I don't know how that's going to work. So I sort of want the nacelles on there, but then the roof, right? But anyway, I think I will leave the nacelles off. But it would be nice to have a bullet out the back of the tail fin, like the cone. This makes it look sort of like these are on fire and they're shooting the fire out, eh? It goes down the road. And the other part of this is the fender skirts. So here, let's move some of this stuff around a bit. Be nice to have headrests on there too. Where's one of the fender skirts? Is it the right one? It's the wrong one. You need this one. Yay. What I need is a little piece of... Oh, this is the wrong side. See, there's a little notch underneath there. That's where the wheel goes. And then this goes up the side. There's for the door. It's a little bit of a notch, couple of notches up the top. So I'll have to clean those. If I had a little piece of two-way tape, I could hold this onto the car temporarily. Okay, so there's... Is that quite right? Sort of there. There's that fender skirt. It's just too bad they didn't extend it just to hit the back of the... Well, actually, with the Continental kit, it does come to the right spot. But anyway, so there's... Let's see, that top again. There we go, sort of something like that. You know, a smoothed out hood, the extended fender skirts, and that roof line. Not too sure on the Continental kit. I'll use that again. Maybe I can do a... maybe I can do a mock-up later. Then it'll have the custom grill in there. Oh, hey, there's Pete. Yeah, Oh, it's okay, Pete, if you're late. Yeah, here's some of the custom ideas. And remember, once this thing turns into a YouTube video, proper video from a live stream, you guys can always go and find that and watch it again from the beginning. So yeah, there we go. So there it is. There's as best I can get a side profile. So Pete, as I was saying, I'm going to dechrome this thing. So get rid of the Thunderbird logo, probably get rid of these vents. Definitely take off the logo in the front and any logo in the back. Having everything crash. There's the hood that came in with the customer parts. So here's, let me see if I can get this off the keyboard. There's the original with a little hood scoop in it, and there's without. So go without. There's also sink marks beside the Thunderbird logo, so I'll have to fill those. Overall, yeah, again, as a convertible, it's not too bad. And there are these custom nacelles. It's like Star Trek. The rustling of paper. Oh, Michael is saying, changing the subject for just a minute, you need to sell t-shirts and bumper stickers with your logo on them. I'd love to have both. I'd love to sell you both. I'd love to sell anything. It's been terrible the last 2 months. My God. So for that, I'm thinking of when I get money again, I'm going to get the logo redone. But instead of this here, the old address, it's going to say online with 2 lightning bolts coming down here. But the rest will be the same. I'm not sure on these big round ones anymore because they do crack over time. But still, the other thing is trying to get all these shirts together. I don't have like one of those websites where you just like you go over here and you type in, I would like this on a coffee mug and a t-shirt and whatever, and then some store company pumps them out for you. I actually have to order these and buy them, and then it's a hassle. But at any rate, I will need to update stuff. Store sales are not going really that great. So I've taken up a part-time job at a bowling alley, which I actually have to go to work today later on, believe it or not. It sounds odd. But yeah, and I hope that can pull through some of these bills, but I'm out of savings and everything, so it's tough. Don't know where I'm going to be in a while. Except sweating to the oldies. Anyway, so this is sort of getting back on subject. This is kind of what I'm going for. So those long skirts. Oh, wow. Pete is doing sync marks on his 32 or 32nd scale Airfix Jaguar. I should take a look at your videos on that. It looks interesting. Just haven't had much time. So here's those nacelles off the back I was talking about. So they would look kind of interesting, but actually this is where you could remove the fin off those nacelles if you add the nacelles in. Actually, where this would be interesting on? Using it on the Revell 2003 Thunderbird. That'd be interesting. Teespring. I don't know. Oh, I guess that's a website, Teespring. Yeah, so I'm going to use that grill and the rolled pan. I wanted to put these on, but this roof is obviously going to go crashing in on top of those, so that won't quite work. So maybe I'd save those nacelles for a different custom T-bird. See, there's the idea there. So those nacelles drape off the trunk lid. See if I can find one. I'll put one on and show it. My little bag of goodies. Yeah, it's real bind because I want to get more models to sell, of course, but I need money in order to do that. And then my expenses are not meeting things. It's just what a headache. And of course, people are phoning saying, "Yeah, I want to come over to your store and see what you got." It's like, I am online now. You can check it out at www.monster-hobbies.ca. Oh, okay, I'll just go to the city. It's like, oh. And yet, before this, everyone was saying, "Oh, you got to get your store online because the internet's the future. That's where everybody's shopping." Uh huh. Everybody except you guys. Anyway, oh boy. Well, not you guys, but those guys, those people that told me to put my thing online, are definitely the people that are not going and shopping online. Okay, so there's the nacelles. That does look pretty interesting. Not quite sure where they're really supposed to go. Just put them in line with the little things for holding the roof on. So that's what they look like. They don't slip off. Being in line. So you see that, it is kind of cool. Be up around the spare tire there. But see, now you get the roof on there, and the roof's sitting on the nacelle ends. And to try to notch the edge of the roof at the back, I don't know, I think that's going to be more headache than it's worth. So I guess I have to keep the nacelles for another custom T-bird somewhere. But that might be the only custom parts on that. So I don't know. One of those deals. Meals on wheels deals. Yeah, so So it must be cool to have these as headrests, but they're not shaped for it because they're, of course, shaped for the back of the car. Oops. That's kind of how a headrest would look if I went that way. I don't know. Hang it over the seat a little bit. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not really a headrest thing. I'd have to look through the parts box to find one. I think there's some in the 63 Ford Galaxy kit. But got a whole spare interior if somebody needs one. Like the bonnet and roof. Yes, I know what you're saying. And don't forget your spanner. Sorry, hood and roof. Hood and roof. The bonnet's the hood. Have you considered blending the bumpers into the bodywork? There's rolled pans for this. So I keep opening and closing this bag. I should be smart and just dump it right out. Oh, come on. Well, now I'm dropping stuff on my feet. There. I can see my bald spot. Okay, so this is the kit supplied rolled pan. Oh, I like my fins though. Come on, guys. So there's the rolled pan. And then here's the custom grill that goes inside. I think if that's the right way. So it's sort of concave, I think. There's a little bit of an issue with this front rolled pan. So I don't know if AMT changed some stuff, because before this had a screw mount underneath, and now it's just these plastic pins. Nar, nar, nar. So this would go up in here, like so, with the rolled pan underneath. And yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to get this in, because it should be sitting up tight to the body, but there's a gap, as you can see. That's how it would, look with the rolled pan in place. Almost better without the grill, isn't it? So there we go. And then there is a rolled pan and another little grill in the back. Oh yeah, there's that extra distributor. Right there. That's one missing out of the green T-Bird. Okay, so the rear rolled pan. I believe this is it. Looks like it. The rear pan. The rear rolled pan, and of course there's the rear grill. Now it looks like the front of the car. Eh? Hello, space alien. Ooh, with a little antenna. I do have some stickers, Michael, little small ones. Actually, there's a section there that says Monster Hobbies merchandise. So they'd be in that. Then there's a little side flares for those lake pipes. It's supposed to go on here somehow. Doo-doo. I don't know. Maybe I could do one with the side flare, the side pipes and the nacelles, and then do this one all smooth on the sides and with the rolled pans. Maybe I can blend the bumper in on the second one, since you guys like that idea. Yeah. Well, there is a bumper for this thing. Oh, not really. They're just bumperettes. There they are, two chrome ones. So the car would look sort of like this in the front, with the fins up there. I like muffins. There's the spotlights. Yeah, the original kit here has spotlights and side view mirrors, and those were removed in the later edition. Now I don't know who had that great idea, but I do also like this one. That's a Barris idea, and that's all smoothed out with the door handles removed. And then the other thing would be to radius these wheel arches, which they don't show in here. But to radius them is to make them perfectly circular. But again, I mean, I'm going to have those covered with those extended Fender skirts that look so nice. Spaceship. But the problem is you have to be careful to use the stock tires and wheels or something of the same thickness, because otherwise they stick out of the fender skirt. Painted candy color over silver base. Yeah. Blending in the bumpers. Well, how would I blend them in? I'd have to glue them on, right? Dechrome them, glue them on. And then what? Build up the putty around it so it looks like one piece. See, even with this front end, there's a bit of a gap in between there. So maybe this AMT thing doesn't fit together perfectly. But I don't know. See, again, the thing with the T-Birds, when you're looking them up online for custom ideas, all you see is that the wheels are replaced and maybe the tires, and then they're all repainted. But they're basically stock. So I don't know. Or they're using the 22-inch wheels with the little thin tire, something like that. But to actually find something that Barris would have done, or Gene Winfield or something like that, like Pete says, with a blended front fender or bumpers and fender skirts and all that jazz. I can't find any pictures, barely. I'll check your channel in a while. OG Trevor, let your imagination run free. I spend ages taping parts in place and seeing what my head has just thought. For sure. The other thing would be to take parts from the 57 Ford and add them into here. I'm not sure what's in there though. It would be nice as the quad headlights, but they don't make those parts anymore. Again, AMT really got rid of a lot of good stuff out of these Styline kits that would just be perfect. Yeah, and again, this went from all this Styline stuff like this to 1970s, somewhere in there. They got rid of everything except for this roof from that, and they gave you, well, they don't really show them. They gave you the deep dish slotted wheels, which are basically from 1968 and forward. I think they still make those, but they were really popular in the 70s, the early 70s. And that's it. Custom, put on these crappy 70s mag wheels. There you go. Woo! With Goodyear Polyglass GT tires on there. And that was it. Not much in the way of what Barris or Winfield or any of those guys were doing. Even the Monogram 58 T-Bird had the bubble top, but they got rid of that. Like, why do these manufacturers get rid of this stuff? That's what I want to know. Well, I guess we all know. Money, cost, blah, blah, blah. Custom trends changing. 36 Ford Shelby? 36 Ford Shelby? 66 Ford Shelby, maybe, but anyway. The 36 Ford kit is nice. You can use those wire wheels from that and the 36 Ford on here. So there we are in stock configuration again. I think my fingers are actually, oh no, it's just not a good spray job on here. I think I know why this roof keeps falling in. It's because I don't have the sun visors glued onto the top of the windshield. Somehow I missed that when I built this. That's what's causing the front to flop in. There's nothing to rest on. But yeah, there we are. I still got to finish that video that I was working on, Pete, about the hinges that you showed me how to do. I, I built a hinge, and of course, typical YouTube video, want to show some people how things are done fashion. I had the hinge, and I opened the door. Now I built the hinge, and when I was opening the door, I opened the door about 50 times, no problem. Open, close, perfect alignment, perfect everything. Went in absolutely 100% perfect. I put it down to film for YouTube. I open the door and the hinge breaks at the bottom. I should try using thin brass instead of aluminum. Trevor 36 Shelby. I know what Johnny Hacksaw is cutting up. Who's making a 36 Shelby? Or is that yours? Anyway. Yeah, that build you're doing there, Pete, you're really like cutting everything and putting it together. It's going to turn out nice, I think. I think if I tried to do that, it wouldn't work so well. I did try 51 Chevy, and I cut the fenders off at the back, the rear fenders, and I sculpted on fenders from the Monogram 124th scale 53 Corvette. And they did work, but I never did get that one finished. I used the roll pans from that were included in the 51 Fastback kit. I cut the whole roof off. I found a bubble top from Easter eggs. And yeah, that one, I got to show you guys these things one day, what I'm working on. But anyway, what I will never get finished, I guess. But yeah, so there's the style iron parts. Should end up turning out pretty well. There's, of course, the 1993 decals. It's kind of funny. AMT in the 90s, in a lot of these kits that they had from the 60s, like not necessarily a T-Bird, not necessarily the Styline T-Bird, but the 57 Ford, I think they did it too, the 40 Ford, the 36 Ford. Was it the 36 Ford? Yes, 36 Ford. And I don't know, whatever else it was. Yeah, you're doing the customs, but you're not joining my build, Pete. I thought this would be right up your alley, man. Anyway, that's okay. This goes for the year, so if you can squeeze in time, do something. Anyway, we would like to have you aboard. So those four cars, that's what's fresh in my memory. So like the 57 Ford, the 40 Ford, the 36 Ford, and whatever the heck else I said. So in the 90s, AMT wanted to freshen up the look of these things. This is pre-round two. No, pre-RC2. So if you're going backwards, you got round two, prior to that is RC2, and then it's still AMT, Ertl, and MPC prior to that. Yeah, the heartbeat graphics. They added in stuff like the 90s heartbeat graphics and whatever else. And then they got rid of a lot of the old custom parts, and they replaced them with the modern 90s parts. So you got, instead of the old Goodyear tires with the, well, even like the slotted or the Keystone mag wheels, like in the 40 Ford, they got rid of the Keystone mag wheels and they put in those billet style with the three blades that are sort of sweeping. And then they got the directional Goodyear Gator tire from the 90s and stuck it in the kit. So they stuck out like that much. And then some of them got rid of the original custom steering wheels, and they put in those billet ones to match the wheels that they just did. And then they put in the Ricardo seats out of the Ferraris into the kits. Well, I think they custom tooled those, but that style, with the back that comes up like this, and then it's got the pad here and the pad here, and then up in your headrest, and then The headrest pops out on the sides. Those seats with the little whatever, those are in there, and something else I did. Oh, that's my cue. We got to get going here soon. Okay. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to curtain. Like on Muppet Show. Trevor, 10 minutes to 10 minutes to curtain. 10 minutes to curtain. Okay, I'll be right there. And then they have the little 2-second monologue, and then they start the show. So if you start seeing like Danny the dog coming across the screen going, it's time to wear the makeup. It's time to, okay. So then I don't know how that's going on, but that's sort of where we're at. But yeah, Harry says Boyd Coddington's steering wheel, or Boyd Coddington wheels and steering wheel. I prefer the old stuff. Oh, and dashboards was another thing. Was it the 40 Ford got a whole new dashboard with the digital display sunk in for the custom. But the funny part is, love them or hate those old parts, because I was born in the 70s, so I kind of grew up in the 80s and 90s car scene. So to me, it was sort of like, oh, here's a fresh break. I don't have to use this old dated 60s stuff. But then, of course, I got older, and now it's like, oh, I want to build dated old 60s stuff like this, because this stuff is pretty cool. And, period piece type stuff. But I can understand where AMT was going. They wanted the fresh new look for us kids back then. And that was what was trending, was all that Boyd Coddington stuff, and so that's what we got. Oh, I forgot to put the hood away. And it's a little protective baggie. This is the white stuff we like. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I was upset that they got rid of the Keystone mags, though, because those are my favorite. But the funny part is, where are those parts now? Because you would think that, I mean, round 2 is going in there and they're cleaning up all the molds and they're bringing back all this nostalgia stuff and everything else. But those custom seats and that funny dashboard and the Boyd Coddington wheels and steering wheel and all that stuff, they must still be on that mold somewhere, right? Like they wouldn't have just filled the whole thing over and took a grinder and flattened it all out. They've got to exist. So I wonder why round 2 decided not to put those in. Like I said, not everybody loved them, but they did still bring those kits up to like a today standard. Now, I don't know if people are using the Boyd Coddington stuff anymore either. It's been a long time since I bought a hot rod magazine. And the last ones I bought were all like deluxe and old school or whatever they were. So that's going with that, not the rat rod look, but like the patina, and getting back into like, oh, I just found this George Bear's car in a barn. Now I'm just going to dust the seat off and drive it, that style of like the rockabilly kind of whatever was going on. But that's like from 2003 till I think now. But again, I haven't really looked at any of that stuff in a long time. So anyway, I guess that will be my video since we got to get out of here. Now I'm working at a bowling alley part-time just to try to keep the business running. And it's only covering half of my expenses because of the part-time part. So please shop online right here at www.monster-hobbies.ca. Let's just put that there. I know you can tell I'm desperate, but I am. No, but seriously. Next month, I'm trying to plan this now because this is working at the bowling alley. I just started to do that, and it's part-time. So they open from 1:00 to 9, but I'm not there all the time. So whatever. Woo. But I'm trying to fit my store in with the schedule from the bowling alley now and whatever else, YouTube making videos and all this jazz. So it's going to be a bit of a trick. I don't know if I can do these live streams like I'm doing. I'll just have to feel it out, I guess, and see how it all goes. But anyway, you can find us online, of course, www.monster-hobbies.ca. You can still phone the store, 403-652-5019. Remember that our website is in Canadian dollars. So for you US guys, you're actually getting a discount on the exchange rate. We offer free shipping on Canadian orders over $75. We can ship around the world, even out to Pete's Custom Model Car Customs. Pete's Model Car Customs over in jolly old England. I can ship there. You'd cover the shipping cost. Anyway, we accept PayPal and credit card on our secure pay system. So that means that anytime you give us your credit card information on our secure shopping cart, at the end of the transaction, all that information is deleted forever. We do not share it with any other parties or countries or whoever could threaten your account or whatever. So we don't do any of that. We don't even keep any of your information for like promotional stuff. So if you want to see what's going on with Monster Hobbies, sign up for our free newsletter on our website. It's going to be over here somewhere. The image looks like a airmail envelope. So if you join our newsletter, I try to get a newsletter out every 2 weeks. But again, like I said, it's sort of been funny in January, February, because I had to go look for work and things like that. If you use the promo code YouTube, so just like down there, you will save 10% off your next purchase. And that's anything. Anything you put in that cart, use the promo code YouTube. Doesn't have to be model cars. You could be into tanks or airplanes or need hobby knives or something like that. All that, just add in, put in YouTube, 10% off everything. It's great. Excellent sale. How can I be so generous? I just am. Best plastic putty is, okay, OG Garage, great question. Two types that I like. Now, it all depends, though, because if you use like a Tamiya putty or even the Tester's putty or even Squadron Green putty, it's not quite my favorite, but those are chemical base. So they've got sort of a liquid in it that's sort of like lacquer, kind of like model cement, sort of something. That has to gas out. So by gassing out, so you put your putty on, and then you got to leave it for a while to let all that chemical just like get out of the system. So that putty will shrink. So then you sand it down, but you got to constantly watch it because it'll keep leaching out that chemical and it'll keep shrinking. So just so you know, but I prefer the Tamiya gray putty for that body putty if you want the chemical kind. If you want the water-based acrylic kind, which doesn't seem to shrink as much as that chemical stuff, I use the green. Well, I guess, what do they call it? It's the Games Workshop has it. One side is blue, one side is yellow, and then you cut off a strip of this thing. It's on a strip. You cut a strip of it off with your knife, and then you mash it together, and it turns green. That's the stuff I like to use because you can sand it the same way as the chemical-based stuff, but it doesn't seem to want to shrink, or at least not as much as that I found. And I forget what they call that stuff. Yeah, anyway. But that's what I like to use for the acrylic stuff. And then Games Workshop also has a water version of that. And you fill it into like the sink marks, like in here and here, and you let that dry out. And then you can sand it. And the acrylic stuff, it doesn't have that funny chemical thingy in it. So yeah. And then, like Harry says, Bondo, the automotive Bondo stuff is good too. Yeah. So, but then you're getting it off the realm of model putty and you're getting into the realm of automotive putty. So it all depends where you want to go and shop. But Bondo is a two-part catalytic. Um, uh, I got a bodywork certificate from 1992, and I forget how this stuff works now. It's a catalyst putty. So that means one is inert and it's like a gray blobby bunch of garbage, liquidy, and then the hardener is like a red. It's almost thick, and this won't harden without, or this won't set up without the hardener, and the hardener won't set up without the Bondo. And then when you put the two together and you mix them, now we were taught you make a W, but of course with the model stuff it's going to be tiny. But you make a W, and then on the gray lump you make a W, and then you mix it together. I, I that was in the book, and when I started doing body work back in the day, I was talking with one of the guys, and he says, "You know what the W is? It's for wrong. If you put the W in the gray, you're doing it wrong." But they tell you that in the book. It's like, whatever. Anyway, so you mix that together, and then you've got like maybe a little bit of time before the Bondo is like rock hard and useless. So with that little bit of time, it's like a yellow, or not yellow, an orangey pink mixture. So then you put that on your model, but that gets really hot. So again, it's, I've never had it distort the plastic, but it does get really hot. I had it on a plastic glove, right, rubber glove, and I know just how hot that can get when it starts to set up. But once it's set up, then like Harry says, it doesn't seem to shrink or anything. And I've still got some on my 72 Oldsmobile from the 90s, and that stuff never shrank, and it's still on. It rusted through, but it never shrunk. But anyway, yeah. So uh, yeah, Bondo is really good, but it can be tricky because sometimes it can be harder than the sandpaper you're using to sand it off. So if it gets that way, you're like forever trying to sand this. But anyway, okay, let's look. So Pete is saying last time he shopped in Canada, the parcel went through America, and I got stung twice on duties plus UK import tax. Ooh, I'll be lucky if I can afford a sticker. And he uses Revell filler, sprue goo, and auto putty. You could get a sticker from me because I can put that into a um, regular mail envelope. It should only be about, I don't know what it would be. I'll say at least $2.50 to $5 to ship that to you. That's just a stamp. OG is saying only for scratches. So for scratches, I would use that Games Workshop liquid. It's called liquid green stuff. I'll just write that in. That's what that putty is called. Boy, I was thinking of the other name. There's two names for it. One is green stuff. So that's the AB style green stuff. Green stuff from Games Workshop. That's a two-piece. One's yellow, one's blue. And you got to cut out the little middle section where they're together because there's actually a little teeny microscopic chemical reaction right where they're touching. And it'll turn into a little lump. It's a pain. I've had it happen. Peter's saying Milliput 2-part. I sold that once, but I never got to try it. And somebody used it. They made a model, which I ended up getting. The guy passed away, unfortunately. But he made a model of World War II bunker out of styrofoam. Oh, time to go. And he made Milliput sandbags, and they never hardened. So I think he must have made something wrong. And Harry is saying glazing putty, automotive, that's as well. Duro in a strip of mixable. But green stuff has another name. I forget what it is. But anyway, as my wife says, I must sign off. So my name is Trevor Selescu, owner of Monster Hobbies. We're now online because that's the hot stuff at www.monster-hobbies.ca. you can phone the store at 403-652-5019. Operators are standing by, and there's that sticker, left and right hand side. You can put them on your doors on your model cars. And I guess that's it. So until next time, which I'm not sure when that's going to be, maybe I can make more live streams now that I know what my schedule is. I could live stream every day. You guys get sick of me. Okay, anyway. So I guess that's it. Unfortunately, I didn't wear my hat for the big thing. So we will see you all again. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Thanks for giving me the out there. And good luck on your group builds. Remember to use that hashtag, whatever that was. I think it was Monster Hobbies Group Build 1. It's a hashtag. So we'll link it all together. And the only person besides myself is Mike's Custom Garage, or Mike's, I think I'm getting mixed up now, but Mike's Garage. We all know him as Rod Rageous. He's the only person that's joined me. So I want some of you other people to join me. So remember, you don't need a yesterday kit, just something that you have not started, like I did with own that thing since 93. So something you have not started is what it should be, a fresh one. Not something that, you half glued it together 20 years ago and now you're coming back to it, but completely fresh, not touched by human hands. Anyway, okay, so take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon. Now I get to go bowling. If I don't bowl, I get to host it. We're going to bowl tonight. All right, have a good one.